What up? Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, I work to empower leaders, people who are raising money every single week when it comes to doing online fundraisers, crowdfunding campaigns, and really help you reach your full potential. My goal at the end of the day is not only that you're able to smash through your goals and raise money effectively, but also you can change the world. You can impact the world for the positive when it comes to the cause you're going after, or maybe the people that you are helping. And kind of when I was younger, I always hated school. I didn't really like college. I felt like anytime that you were in a learning situation, you were penalized for what you didn't know, versus looking at it as an opportunity to uplift people, to help people. And if there's a gap between what you don't know and what you need to do, filling that gap can help everyone, right? So that's really what I try to do with my channel, which is share actionable tips, strategies, resources, lessons, ways to help you be more effective with your fundraiser. And in today's video, we are getting into GoFundMe specifically for nonprofit organizations, how to raise money, how to put together a game plan and a strategy. And I'm covering that in just a second. Hey man, welcome back to this YouTube channel. And again, my name is Salvador, and my journey with nonprofits actually started pretty early when I had my first internship with a great nonprofit out there called Springboard Enterprises. It was really aimed at helping fill the funding gap between men and women and providing a lot of great resources and handholding for female entrepreneurs. So I love nonprofit organizations. I think you're doing incredible work, and specifically if it's a target demographic that's really in need and just not being serviced in a great way by other organizations that are out there. I first want to talk about, when it comes to GoFundMe, a little bit of the strategy going into a fundraising campaign for a nonprofit organization, and then we'll get a little bit more into the tactics, into the actual plan of raising money and launching this campaign. And by the end of this video, you're gonna feel more confident, more excited, you're gonna be ready to hit the races. And I really want to make sure that by the end of this video, you have a lot of clear takeaways as to what to do next. So let's start with strategy. GoFundMe is an example of traditional crowdfunding as opposed to peer-to-peer fundraising. So it's a little bit different in terms of the strategy when it comes to a traditional crowdfunding campaign. Your role as a nonprofit organization doing a traditional crowdfunding campaign on a website like GoFundMe is to basically market the heck out of the campaign, but to also have the right campaign page, have the right video, have the right story that's necessary to turn someone who's never met you before into a donor. So your particular strategy as a nonprofit kind of actually goes back to what I talked about in my book, Nonprofit Crowdfunding Explained. So I have a great book out there on Amazon and also on Audible called Nonprofit Crowdfunding Explained. It goes through every single step of raising money as a nonprofit organization. And one of the things I talk about is the fundraising funnel and the donor pyramid. So these are two concepts that I kind of pioneer in those books. And one of the things when it comes to the fundraising funnel is that in order to get someone who you've never met before to rally around your cause and to donate money, is that you really have to put them through a sequence that's designed to warm them up to the problem. Basically, what is the problem that you're working to solve, right? What is the massive injustice which you're trying to help when it comes to your target demographic? Really also building credibility for that. How have you helped in the past? The results you've gotten in the past, the ways in which you've improved and really helped those people in the past. In addition, identifying the people that care about that specific cause, who really shows empathy towards that demographic, either because of maybe their own circumstances in life or because they support similar causes just like this, and why it is that they do that. You know, from the more of like the heartstring reasons, but also from the psychology angle. Why do they care about these specific causes, right? And how can you then put out communication messages which are going to draw their attention to this problem which is occurring and the urgency behind solving this problem. In addition, and this goes beyond the scope of the video, but I do talk about in the fundraising funnel as well, the fact that you also need to show people how they can make an impact. So for example, it is not enough just to say, here is a massive problem in society. Here are the reasons why this is an urgent problem to solve. Here's how we've been working to solve this problem and the results. Can you donate money? It's not enough to say that. You also have to show the person who is going to step up and is going to donate money how they can make an impact, right? Why their funding is necessary. How if they're giving 50 bucks, what kind of a tangible impact that has at the end of the day. Because I'm telling you, there's so many people out there that are skeptical, that don't want to give $1,000 only to find out that like $50 of that is actually going to help the target in need demographic, and the other $950 is just going for administrative costs to pay your salary. So a successful funding campaign when it comes to GoFundMe is first really thinking about that kind of messaging and thinking about what you stand for when it comes to your company values and why it is that these people are going to take action and answering all those little questions on the back end. And I kind of call that creating the offer, which is creating the campaign, right? Once you've done that and you've taken that step, that's when you really begin to think about the broadcasting and the communication strategy. The broadcasting and the communication strategy gets more into which marketing channels are you going to be using to reach your existing donors, people who have donated to your maybe your nonprofit in the past, and reach the people who have never met you before. There might also be a third category there, which is people who maybe express some interest, but have never actually become a donor, right? So there's different marketing channels which you can use in order to get the word out there about your GoFundMe campaign. Some of the more common ones would be, number one, email marketing. So sending out emails to your existing donors or to emails to people who have subscribed to your newsletter. A lot of the nonprofits I talk with are like, Sal, we got a massive email list, but we've never sent them an email. I'm like, well, they don't even know you exist, right? So you got to make sure you are regularly communicating with these individuals. I'm talking at least once a week, right? You got to be sending out communications if you do have an email list, or you have to gather all of the emails of people who have donated to your campaign in the past. There also should be some segmentation which is done. For example, corporate donors versus volunteers, people who have volunteered with your organization before versus people who have maybe just given some money, right? Or even annual donors if you already have a category like that. So you should do a little bit of segmentation, but email marketing is probably the first channel I would recommend really getting involved with. The second is going to be Facebook, right? Facebook and Instagram kind of go together nowadays. So Facebook and Instagram are going to be two major broadcast channels when it comes to reaching your existing audience and reaching new audiences when it comes to posting on Facebook, posting Facebook stories, on Instagram, doing Instagram Reels. The more content that you can create to go out on these social media networks, the more attention you are going to command. And if we think about, again, the fundraising funnel, the first part of the funnel is that you need to get people's attention when it comes to this particular problem, right? They've never met you before, you first got to get their attention. You think about a simplified marketing funnel, there's AIDA, attention, interest, decision, action, right? So you got to first get their attention in order to get them interested, to make a decision, and then to take some action, right? Put very simplified when it comes to a marketing funnel. That's going to go out on social media. The major ones, like I mentioned, are Facebook and Instagram. You could also use LinkedIn if you're going after more corporate donors, or if you want to go after kind of a youthful crowd and you do want to kind of a little more experimentation with your marketing, you could also do TikTok or YouTube. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. The other thing that I wanted to mention on this point is that while you are going to be doing the lot of the lion's share of pushing out this content on these different social media channels and also with your email marketing, you can also have what I mentioned in my book, which is a crowdfunding street team, okay? So a crowdfunding street team is assembling your hardcore, your rock solid base of volunteers or people who are regularly supporting your organization and have them also help you in disseminating these messages. So more often than not, and there's a lot of great stats on this online, most people will volunteer at a nonprofit if their friends are doing it and their friends invite them along. Most people will donate to a new cause if their friends are doing it and they make them aware that this is a really worthy cause or this is a trusted nonprofit organization. It kind of checks that box when it comes to credibility. So if you want to get people to take action, if you have a funding street team, a crowdfunding street team, you can get, even if it's just 4 or 5 people, to start to share messages on your behalf. You can have them help raise money from their network and also help you then broadcast your messages, which you're already putting out there. And you can get even more people interested. And also then you don't have to answer that question around credibility as much. The third component when it comes to strategy is marketing and PR. So that would be, for example, putting out a press release, approaching journalists about this particular endeavor, this nonprofit fundraiser, this GoFundMe campaign that you're doing, getting local leaders or people who are interested in helping that demographic as well, or partnering with other organizations, having them communicate to their email list or having them do a social media post on your behalf, right? So I would say the third category when it comes to it's kind of like media influencers and PR. It goes a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but that would be the third from the strategic standpoint. So we've gone over strategy. Let's talk a tiny bit about the plan. And I also at this point should mention that I've been working on an incredible nonprofit crowdfunding course, which is going to be going live very shortly. So if you do want to learn more about that, you can go and check out my links down below. I'll have a link to join my newsletter at crowdcrux.com/newsletter, and I'll probably announce it at some point there. But in addition, I have a really great course. If you really want to hit the ground running and you are dead set on using GoFundMe as your platform to do that, I have all of my templates. I have all of the things that you need in order to effectively run a campaign, as well as the step-by-step resources that you don't even know about and tricks that I've discovered to help you get funding. I put this all into the GoFundMe Cash Machine. So the GoFundMe Cash Machine is an investment. It's an online course which I have, which holds your hand every step of the way when you are launching a GoFundMe campaign. If you want to learn more about that, I will also link that up down below, as well as a free course that I have on GoFundMe. So, my friend, this can be quite overwhelming, right? So much stuff. And you're like, Sal, why are you speaking so fast? You got so much information you're going through right now. My head is spinning, right? Let me try to just slow it down, right, a tiny bit when it comes to this, because putting together a plan to actually execute this strategy, that's really where the funding is made. Right? That's the moneymaker. That's the magic sauce behind this. And that's what I obviously talk about in the GoFundMe Cash Machine, but I do want to make it a little bit more tangible for you in this video. So with this specific video, I think the best thing that you can do is really, first of all, create a checklist. Okay, so when it comes to the plan, create a checklist of everything that you got. Do you have an email list? Do you already have your story? Do you already know who your target audience is or not? Do you already have a sense of the cause, the problem, the stats behind that? Do you already have the credibility, right? When it comes to your organization, the things that you've created before, do you already have all that in writing? Do you have graphics and images? Create an inventory list. I'm a big fan of lists. My staff, my team will tell you that definitely. I love checklists. I love taking inventory of things like that. So create a checklist of everything you have, okay? And then create a checklist of everything that I mentioned in this video and just compare. What are you missing, right? What is missing out? Do you not have the video maybe, or do you not have graphics, or you not have copy, or maybe you haven't thought yet of who you're gonna be targeting on social media? You've never done social media before. Maybe you don't have a Facebook page. Maybe you don't have a Facebook group or Instagram or anything like that. Create an inventory list of what you have and what you don't have, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that list and you're gonna start and create a calendar. So calendars are amazing. Myself, I don't like to use paperback calendars. I have a lot of different clients and students who will use like paper calendars and planners and that kind of stuff. I'm not really into that. I'm more into the digital kind of way. I like using Basecamp or Trello or Asana or some kind of project management tool. If you want to just use a very simple paper calendar or use Google Sheets and just get a template of a calendar online, you can do that, but start to put this out and plot this out. Okay, when am I gonna get the copy? When am I gonna spend an hour maybe to figure out who's gonna help me with social media? Start to put all these action items in a calendar basis. And that way you're gonna have a clear sense of, all right, realistically, I can launch this campaign in a month. Realistically, I can do it in 3 months. It's really gonna help you when it comes to plotting out this entire plan. Is the first, like I mentioned, you have the checklist. The second is you put all those action items into a calendar. The third component is to think about roles and responsibilities. So you maybe are an individual, but I'm willing to bet you got friends. I'm willing to bet that you are a nice person. You have a nice smile, right? You probably have some volunteers, you have some people that you're working with, maybe even a staff member or two. Or if you're a larger organization, you have a bunch of people, right? And I'm talking to you and you're like, dude, Sal, I got a ton of people that are working for me. So no matter what your level is, you should then take inventory of the resources which you have. What is your budget when it comes to being able to run this campaign? Who are the people who are on your team who can help? And then start, if you even want to be as simple as like cutting out a little photo of a person and putting them on that task delegation, you could do that. Or you could just say their name. So like this person is going to do this person is going to do that. These are the roles and responsibilities. This person is going to be in charge of putting together the campaign page. This person is going to be in charge of writing all the emails that go out to the newsletter. This person is in charge of doing the social media posts, right? Or maybe you're doing it and you're going to be wearing different hats and you just have to write that down, that I'm going to do it on this day, on this day, on this day, right? So you just have to be aware of how you're then delegating based on enough of that plan or that to-do list. Lastly, you can just then start to compare how you're making progress with the things that you need to do. And in some cases, you might need to delay a tiny bit, or you might need to get some outside help. Or if you're working, for example, off of a template or a proven framework, you can just speed up the entire process, right? But if you're doing it on your own, you should then think about the timeline, where are you going? And when it comes to the plan, what is my launch date going to be? Once you start to get together a little bit of the story, you start to get to the campaign page, you can begin to think about that launch date and work backwards from there. And it's going to be scary. It's going to be a little bit intimidating, but you're probably going to be running this campaign for maybe like 30 days or 60 days, right? And I'm telling you, what you're going to learn doing this fundraiser is invaluable. This is just putting your entire strategy online. You're basically doing digital marketing when it comes to your nonprofit. I'm telling you, the world is your oyster once you're able to figure this out, because then you can push out social media messages, you can put out some emails, you can launch even new fundraisers and campaigns, you can have a monthly giving campaign, you can have an annual fundraising gala. There's so much stuff you can do once you master the digital realm. It's very exciting. So make sure you put this as priority. And if you feel like you need a little bit of guidance and resources, first of all, go and check out my free course down below, which I will link up at crowdcrux.com/GoFundMe course when it comes to GoFundMe and launching a campaign. And if you want to make an investment in really making this a lot easier, go and check out the GoFundMe cash machine as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video when it comes to GoFundMe, raising money for a nonprofit organization. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave a positive comment down below. There's also a great chance you wanted to promote what you're doing, right? With that being said, if you did enjoy my content, you like my style, you like the way that I communicate, give me a thumbs up, but also a subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that people know, right, that a new video is coming out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want to get more videos from me, because I got a lot of great stuff that's in the hopper and that's in the works I'll be sharing with you in the coming weeks. Again, my name is Salvador Briggman. See you next time.